Fannie and Freddie largely becoming the poster children of the 2008 subprime crisis. And now the two mortgage lenders are finding themselves at the center of a new D.C. fight that's putting both organizations' futures on the line. Charlie's got more D.C. dysfunction.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you've got to realize they are the linchpins of the $10 trillion mortgage markets. They sort of allow banks to make about half of those loans because they essentially buy the loans from the banks, package them, and put them into mortgage securities that are sold to other investors. By doing that, the banks have capital freed up so they can make those loans. A lot of banks don't want to make 30-year mortgages. Let's face it, it's a horrible business. The country, the government believes it's a public policy goal to have 30-year mortgages, particularly to middle-class people. That's why you have Fannie and Freddie. They were taking over during the financial crisis because they were going insolvent. The Trump administration wants to get them out of government control. Because of that, these stocks of both Fannie and Freddie over the last, I guess, half a year, since January, have shot up tremendously on hopes that they're going to be recapitalized and released.
And off government control.
But we should point out that this is, the cart before the horse. And right now, some of our reporting is bearing this out. And it's one of the reasons why Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae today are down. What we've been reporting pretty consistently lately is that there is a battle inside the Trump administration as to how reform should take place and how that reform will actually look and how that might impact investors in the stocks. There's one side of the aisle led by Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, who wants more or less a recap and recapitalize them, release them, put them back to their old Fannie and Freddie, which essentially they had an implicit government guarantee that allowed them to borrow cheaply and do some of the stuff they do. Then you got the incumbent FHFA chief, Mark Calabria, Federal Housing Finance Administration chief, who is a libertarian conservative. He believes they shouldn't be taken over by the government, but he would like to put them out of business, or at least reduce their footprint dramatically. These two sides, now, Calabria hasn't been confirmed yet by the Senate, but he's starting to, from what I understand, it's, his people there are people like Larry Kudlow internally who agree with him. This sort of tension that exists, from what we understand, is delaying any sort of coherent action on it. Now, the president, we should point out, signed a memorandum on Friday, I believe it was, essentially saying, get to work on reform. We should point out that there was a reason why that was a memorandum and not an executive order, because he understands, people in the administration understand, that this is heavy lifting. There's still an internal battle that must be sorted out over where we're going with Fannie and Freddie. So if it's a memorandum, it doesn't have the sort of, it's a more nuanced
so
directive.
He's not picking sides.
No,
basically.
He's not. He's just saying get it done. So that's where we are right now. And I tell you, why is this an important story? It's important because
Fannie and Freddie help out the people that can't get loans for housing.
And not only that, and this is big. I mean, these are heavily speculated stocks. They're penny stocks. They trade below anything trades generally below $5 is considered a penny stock. Yet they've been up this year dramatically on this stuff. And if Mnuchin gets his way and it's recapped and released, there's going to be a lot of rich investors out there, including a certain hedge fund guy named John Paulson, who bought the preferred post 2008 on these things.
Okay.
When that happens, if this plan comes out where the Paulson hedge funds and some of these hedge funds make a lot of money, there's going to be a lot of talk about
pushback.
Mnuchin's connections with Paulson. Remember, Mnuchin was in Paulson's hedge fund at one point.
Right.
Had other business arrangements.
Goldman too. Yes.
Okay. So that's where we are right now. Big story for stocks. I would say be real careful with these companies, and a big story for homeowners. Depending on how the Trump administration sorts out the footprint for Fannie and Freddie.